engaged in an act of self-defense. Now we have to name the slaughter by Israel on 2.2 million people of Gaza has nothing whatsoever to do with self-defense. It is a premeditated war crime. It is an act of savagery and barbarism that knows little precedent in recent times. And that is not us saying it. It is the Israeli government who have said it openly, nakedly. They have said that they intend to force 1 million people under heavy aerial bombardment and artillery fire out of their homes in northern Gaza. That is a war crime. That is the definition of ethnic cleansing. And the seriousness of it is difficult to comprehend. The Nakba, the greatest catastrophe that was ever visited on the Palestinian people, involved the use of terrorism by Zionist militias, slaughtering people in Deir Yassin and other Palestinian villages in 1948. And that resulted in 750,000 people being expelled, ethnically cleansed from their homes. And that act of terrorism by the Zionist militias is the reason we have this violence and conflict now. But what Israel has done in the last few days is worse than the Nakba. More people, not 750,000, as criminal as that was, 1.1 million people told to leave or that they will be flattened, bombarded, while they're being bombarded, while they attack not just one hospital, multiple hospitals, multiple schools, multiple civilian infrastructure, the infrastructure that is capable of sustaining human existence in Gaza, the water, the energy, the power, the food. So this is an act of barbaric state terrorism and ethnic cleansing on the scale and worse than the Nakba of 1948. For any government to use the language of self-defense about what Israel is doing is shameful. It is in truth justifying and giving cover to the war crimes that Israel is committing against the Palestinians. So we need to be absolutely clear about this. There is no equivalence between the Palestinians and the State of Israel. One is the oppressed. The Palestinian people are the oppressed, and the other is the oppressor. When the government say Israel has the right to self-defense, there is no legal right to defend apartheid anywhere in international law. There is no legal right to base a political system on ethnic cleansing anywhere in international law. There is, however, in international law, the right of an occupied and oppressed people to resist their oppression and their occupation by any means necessary, including by force of arms. Now I say that not to advocate any action or condone any action, but we need to be absolutely clear that is the international legal position. The oppressor state is Israel. The occupied, oppressed people are the Palestinians. There is no equivalence in this situation. So anybody who believes in justice, in human rights, in civil rights, in international law, in self-determination, is duty-bound to stand with the Palestinians and to acknowledge their right to resist the apartheid, the ethnic cleansing, the occupation of their territory, the relentless killing, all of which preceded the events of the 7th of October. This did not start on the 7th of October. It started with 17 years of criminal collective punishment of 2 million Gazans. It started with this year being the deadliest year for the killing of Palestinians with impunity. It started with the ongoing illegal settlements on the West Bank and settler violence against Palestinian villages. It started with the ongoing ethnic cleansing of Sheikh Jarrah, of Hebron, of Jenin, of Nablus. It started with decades of ethnic cleansing, and it started with the Nakba, an act of terrorism. A state and a regime that does that does not have any claim to legitimacy. None. And we have to stand with the right of the Palestinians to demand an end to that brutal and criminal regime. Finally, I want to say we must put pressure, therefore, on our government to immediately expel the Israeli ambassador. If Colombia can do it, we should certainly do it. We must demand that Netanyahu, all the Israeli government leaders, all the military generals involved in these war crimes in Gaza are immediately referred for prosecution to the International Criminal Court for war crimes and crimes against humanity. We must demand that Ursula von der Leyen, for standing beside Netanyahu while he was declaring his intention to commit war crimes, must resign immediately as the President of the EU Commission. Finally, I just want to say we need a mass movement to achieve these ends, because that government is not listening. European Union leaders are not listening. The US government stands right behind supporting, sponsoring and sustaining the criminal regime in Israel. So it is only an uprising of the people across the world who believe in Palestinian self-determination and who believe in human justice have to stand up and rise up and force their governments to take the action necessary to end the brutal regime of apartheid and colonialism that is the Israeli state.